suspense when you doing that shit. I was over here like, wait, when you doing some of this?
Hey, for real, bro. Hey, so everybody, y'all welcome to Real Spill. You know what I'm saying? I'm Sir Calvin. You know what I'm saying? East Texas ass motherfucker.
Hey, it's your boy Lolo. Straight from the Falls.
It's your boy Mari from Chi-Town. What's the town like?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So basically what this podcast is just us three sitting here. We're going to be discussing a couple of things that have to do mostly with hip-hop culture. You know what I'm saying? I fucking love hip-hop, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? The Red Club Juicy jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Pac's still alive, y'all.
And of course, we're going to be saying just some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? A mix of comedy here and there. A dip and a dash of comedy. You know what I'm saying? So Shannon, like, you was telling me about some, like, so what was your first experience with, like, hip hop, bro? Like, your first time hearing, like, rap music.
My first experience.
Here, bro, grab the mic and shit.
Oh man, my first experience. Well, as I could say, my first experience with hip hop was, I can remember. Well, first of all, let's paint the picture.
Take your time, bro. Set the scene. Set the scene.
Gotta paint the picture like I'm
scene.
like I'm what's his name?
My nigga, you got the dreads, be Picasso. Picasso.
Right, got the blue in the hair and everything. But yeah, man, coming up in the early '90s was like the gold, like damn near like the golden era of hip hop. Like,
really, bro?
Man, like
on some real shit.
Like coming in with the era of like G-Funk and everything, like getting introduced to like the likes of Warren G and Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, like from the West Coast. That was like my real first experience with hip hop. And added on to them being in the area that I grew up in Chicago, basically just hearing new artists such as Crucial Conflict. Crucial Conflict. Hey in the middle of the barn.
Hey in the middle of the barn?
Hey in the middle of the barn. Smoking on weed. Hey. You ain't never heard that?
That's a first for me, too.
Bro, you ain't never heard Oh, man.
So
you got
is he like a Chicago rapper, bro?
It's a group. Crucial Conflict.
Bro, I'm going to go check them out, bro.
You got to go on
it. Hold on, bro. We're going to go check. Matter of fact, what we're going to do is we're going to get to that. We're going to actually play Crucial Conflict.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Show.
They like the Commodores or something?
Like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what this for, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like hip-hop is divided in so many different regions that a lot of times, like, some of the greatest music don't get to come out of those regions.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, like, man, I remember my first hip-hop song. It was like around late 90s, maybe early 2000s, and I grew up in the church. Go ahead, bro. Get some gun, bro. I grew up in the church, you know what I'm saying? So my people, they weren't playing it. They wasn't playing it. It was all gospel or nothing else. Jesus or nothing. That's how it was in my house. And so, but like, I remember one Saturday morning, man, Lil Flip was on BET. They was doing like, you know, when they used to like host different days and shit like that. And on Saturdays, like it'd be like the East Coast of Virginia would get to do some shit like that in like Temple
like
and
basement.
Yeah, kind of like the basement, but I don't think it was like rap
takeover kind of.
Yeah, like a takeover. Yeah, something like that, man. And bro, Wanna Be a Baller came on. Just happened to be Wanna Be a Baller. And like, you know what I'm saying, being from Texas, like Texas and like in Texas, bro, Wanna Be a Baller is like the Negro Texas national anthem. Swear to God, bro. White people. Matter of fact, it's really the Texas the Stars at Night bit bullshit. You play the motherfucking Wanna Be a Baller, you'll see a white man named Billy Bob come right beside you, say 20-inch blade. I know about that right there. That's some good music. You know what I'm saying?
And them shit stepped in boots he wearing too, nigga.
Crusty, dusty ass boots, man.
Go ahead, what you were saying?
I mean, look. What was I talking about?
Bro, nah, we keep saying Crucial, like, you know what I'm saying? Crucial,
I mean, if you know about Crucial, if you don't know about Crucial Conflict, the next group I can say that you probably would know about is Do or Die.
Okay.
So if you know Do or Die, then at one point you basically may have heard something similar to Crucial Conflict. Okay. If you gotta hear, they had another song called Rodeo. Now I don't know if you may have heard of Rodeo, but God, I gotta remember how the song goes. But we gotta play it. We gonna play it.
We're gonna definitely play Crucial Conflict.
Yeah, Crucial Conflict.
Crucial Conflict.
Crucial
Conflict. Crucial Conflict. So,
Definitely.
okay, Lawrence, you know what I'm saying? You like the younger one of us, so you kind of came up. You know what I'm saying? Tell us about where you from, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Who you are. Grab the mic, bro.
Growing up in the SoundCloud era.
We sitting here holding.
I'm not in the SoundCloud.
Uzi Vert like swag and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, first of
all
all,
my friends are dead.
Hey, first of all, fuck both these niggas. Hey, nah, I'm from the Falls though. I'm right here from Wichita Falls. It's right there on the board, like close to the border, just like Texas and Oklahoma. So you know, shit up here at North, like when I was growing up, like all I heard. Mostly when I was growing up, I just heard Jeezy. Obviously heard some Juvenile, Mike Jones. Mike Jones, it was one of my biggest inspirations at the time, though. But
people don't even understand what you just said, bro. Say that one more time.
Say what?
What you say about Mike Jones, bro?
Oh, bro, inspiration. He was.
Like people don't really understand how hard Mike Jones put on for Texas. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, Mike Jones really not even on the Texas Mount Rushmore of rappers.
The only thing that I remember Mike Jones for is the fact that he popped up on TV, and a few weeks later, the whole Chicago area was flooded with do-rags.
What the fuck?
Was flooded with do-rags in 281.
All out there looking like Casey and JoJo.
Niggas out there buying grills and shit, Chicago, rocking do-rags and big-ass tall tees.
We weren't rocking do-rags. We were rocking $150 hats and the motherfucking Jabot jeans and shit.
Oh, man.
Imagine when Nelly came out and everybody wants
Oh, my
everybody.
God.
Not even just the Midwest, bro. Everybody in the United States wanted some Air Force Ones after that shit.
Bro, everybody had some forces, bro. And then you got to remember around that time, the Wook forces came. The see-through forces where your motherfucking feet, they got hot. Them hoes to steam the fuck up. They steam up on your ass, bro. But look at your hard-working ass feet, boy. Them hoes being in there. You need a motherfucking window washer in that motherfucking squeeze.
That hoe gonna be
what you need on your feet. Feet look bad.
That's gonna be a geyser, bro. Out of nowhere, just coming out with
feet
it.
out of tail, boy.
Looking like a steamed teapot.
Boy, need some gold bun.
You funny as hell. That shit just made me think about the whole P.D. Pablo movement with the North Carolina, come on and raise up.
It is so crazy, bro. Like, we forget how much, like, that era of hip-hop, bro, really was so fucking live. Like, my nigga, like, you can get pumped up so fast, my nigga. First of all, think about how much ruthless-ass music they really had on Madden.
Yes.
NFL Street.
I feel like the Madden
Blitz.
soundtracks.
Bro, and if I remember correctly, bro, like there was a WWE SmackDown vs. Raw game. Them niggas had
Money in the Bank.
They had 8-Ball and MJG.
Bro,
Money in the Bank, Lil Scrappy.
Right.
Young Buck.
Bro, that's what I'm not even that, but like if you think about it, bro, first of all, let me educate you real quick because 8-Ball and MJG actually had somebody's theme song. They did somebody's theme song. They did Mark Henry's theme song. Somebody gonna get their ass kicked.
Yeah, remember that.
Hell yeah, bro. This hat is about to get on my damn nerve. My head too big. Y'all don't talk about me in the comments. My head big to the bitch, goddamn me.
Put it on the last notch.
Shit, you know what? Fuck it. I'm nappy in this. I don't give a damn, nigga.
That's how you doing it?
Man, I'm doing it like this, bro. We just gonna go real free, bro. Real spill. This is real ass podcast, bro. Like, I feel like everything right now, we transparent, bro. Y'all getting the real version of us. Like, you're not gonna just get no fake ass shit. We're gonna be real. Go ahead, my nigga. We finna change the music up and shit. We having a good ass time. So, all right, guys. Moving along. Let's talk about the state of hip hop, man. Where we at right now? What do y'all think about the music that's being produced? And I'm just gonna go. I'm not even gonna talk about SoundCloud rappers. I'm gonna talk about the South.
See, you can talk about the South. Well, I mean, in that case,
I just want to talk about the South.
From where you're about to go with it, I can say as a person right now, the state of hip hop, especially with SoundCloud rappers, a lot of SoundCloud rappers are starting to emerge from the South, and I think that with the creativity that's going on with the access of a website such as SoundCloud or like a platform such as that, it's giving more of a what can I say, an element to the hip hop community.
I feel that, bro. Like, think about this. Like, when we was kids, bro, like, on some real shit, when we was kids, like, you heard what was on the radio. You heard what was on 106 in Park. But, like, you wasn't hearing UGK growing up like that besides Big Pimpin' and Throw, maybe. International Players thing.
I heard Pocket Full of Stones.
Okay, and that's rare, like, you know what I'm saying?
In my household, we were pretty big. Well, my cousins, the older cousins, they were pretty big on listening to hip hop music. But I can remember when this was one of my cousins. He's a rapper. He's like a kind of old rapper, but
I've heard this before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
I've definitely heard this
Crucial
before.
Conflict.
Okay, I just didn't recognize who it was.
Yeah, but when I can remember when I was younger, and we have like a whole lot of family gatherings and whatnot. You know, the cousins that are like their mid-20s or whatnot. We all had this area where we go down in the basement of my grandparents' house, and we have the vinyl player, like with the vinyl records and everything. Like you got that and a little sound system down there, bass and everything. You go down there and play all kinds of records. You go from Wu-Tang to fucking Arrested Development, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Them, we go to like DJ Quick and everything. We go basically all around the nation.
See, that's dope to me, bro, because like it wasn't until I got older and I really got to, kind of almost finding myself and going to different places and like meeting different people, bro. Like I realized how much music I missed out on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like growing up in Texas, I grew up on Zero. Like Zero in East Texas, my nigga, is like Jay-Z in motherfucking New York. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you're going to hear. Like, Boosie, Webby, Zero, UGK, Power a little bit in, like, the 2005, 2006 eras, you know what I'm saying? But, like, really, bro, like, Zero, like, his mixtape were, like, albums to us.
Yeah.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, so growing up for me in the South and just seeing, like, I remember when the South, like, for me, I remember when Houston wasn't represented. People forget about that. Like, people just now seeing Texas get back represented, man, because, like, people was fucking with Zero, but, like, if you wasn't from, like, deep South, if you didn't know about Zero before, you wasn't fucking with Zero.
I mean, well, in that case, in that era that what you're talking about, I think when did Zero first come out?
Zero really came out in, like, the late 90s, really. If you really want to be, like, really exact, I think it was... I think he been rapping since like '97 because he was still rapping when he was because he was on Screws, one of Screws' album. My Mind Went Blank, that he was on that song, and the Blue 22 freestyle. Like, so he was still around when Screw was still around. I think Screw died early 2000s.
Yeah, he died.
R.I.P. Screw.
'99.
Yeah, R.I.P. Screw, man. You know what I'm saying? Respect to the man Screw. R.I.P. to all those fallen legends. You know what I'm saying? Around the nation on some real shit, like the ones we know, we don't know.
Yeah, well, I can remember. That I mean, I guess it
I'm just
depends.
gonna sit this right here real quick. So go ahead and plug noise.
I think it depends on like how you were brought up in your household, because to me, I don't see with me viewing the South, I see it. It's kind of like the South at one point had a time period in hip hop the way that New York is having their time in hip hop right now. Like they're on the map, but they're not as dominant as they were in the 90s. I feel like the South has had that element that New York had in the 90s. They had that time where, okay, they're here, but they're not at that level. I feel like they were recognized because I can name off the top of my head, like right now, like the UGK coming off top, Ghetto Boys. We playing hella Ghetto Boys.
Yeah, well, see, everybody fuck with Space though.
Yeah, we was
Rap
fucking
A Lot
with
was really
Scarface.
on.
Yeah, we
Rap A Lot was really
Rap
on.
A Lot. We was fucking with them, and we was fucking with them. Also, we was fucking with them harder because they fuck with NWA. And Easy with all them, they ties down there, Ice Cube and everybody, and that's how we started. And
Everybody
Snoop Dogg.
That's one thing I will say. Even though you don't hear Texas all the time, the niggas who really in the game respect the fuck out of Texas. Yeah. Like, they respect the fuck out of Texas, bro. And I appreciate that, man. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, for so long, we were left off of everything.
Yeah.
Like it like Texas boomed so motherfucking hard, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Lil Kiki was on BET. Lil Kiki.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? To go from that to not having any kind of representation really mainstream wise except for Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, until now, like, where you have artists like Sauce Walker, Maxo Cream, Kurt Cobain's. I'm gonna even throw Trill Sammy out there. And not just Trill Sammy, like, you want to go, like, really mainstream Travis Scott. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like SoundCloud really, so now I'm going to go into SoundCloud. I feel like SoundCloud really is like a big push behind that because if you think about, like, when we was kids, bro, you heard what you heard in your region. Like, you had kinfolk that really put you on shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if your kinfolk was from Texas, and you have kinfolk from Louisiana, you might hear Zero before you hear Webby and Boosie.
Yes, sir.
And, like, I didn't hear about Po Pimp or Do or Die, nothing like that shit until I was 16, 17 when LimeWire was around. Maybe like 13, 14. LimeWire.
RIP too.
RIP LimeWire, bro. You fucked up my gateway computer. You
horrible
fucked up my
fucking
mama
times
computer.
with LimeWire.
Disrespectful ass LimeWire, old bitch ass. I oughta whoop your ass, bro.
Always
Nah,
giving me viruses
Respect.
when I wanted to download my porn.
You know what LimeWire was, bro? LimeWire was that fine ass bitch in high school that you knew had gonorrhea, but you fucked it anyway. Just
Oh no, I don't know where that came from. I don't know that.
But you know what I'm saying? You know what she had.
I was
but you
I was a virgin
anything
still in
about-
high school. Don't get it.
Yeah,
I ain't saying I never did that. I'm just saying.
I didn't do anything
Oh God, I did
like
not
that.
do that. No, that's my left
I
hand.
didn't
Right
check
handed
out
died.
He
Sir,
sounding sus right now,
Sir,
y'all.
you got some information that you need to be let known.
I'm gonna need you to spill that.
You putting a lot of that out there. You gotta watch it.
Hey man, that was just a joke.
Nah, don't let
That was just a
Hey, in the
joke.
comments, don't let this man make it.
Hey
Don't
bro.
let
Hey,
internet,
I'm
y'all
already in
never
this tight ass jersey on this couch. Like,
internet, y'all never fail. Get
looking
this
like
man.
Mr. Brown son with dreads and shit. I know you ain't gonna roast the fuck out my ass, but it's all good.
Get on your ass.
I'm gonna get on your motherfucking head. Try me. And right now we listen to some motherfucking Dr. Dre from the motherfucking Chronic 2001.
Hey, I know you finna go on a rant, bro. I know you about to. That's why.
No, I'm not. I'm not even going to rent, bro. Go and say what you gotta say.
Nah, bro. Okay, so back to when you brought up New York, bro. You talking about the?
Please bring up New York.
You talking about?
Let's talk about New York.
You talking about the regions, bro? Okay, so look, I'm gonna say this. We all know Los Angeles before, like, I mean, when NWA and all that shit was coming around the time, like,
Talk this shit, Lawrence.
Los Angeles, like, they're obviously like that region that's always gonna be booming with music. Like, no matter what period of time it's in. Same with ATL. ATL will always be popping into shit to probably when we be damn near gone, damn near some shit like that. Then you got Texas. We already talked about the Texas movement already too. But look at New York. New York, when it blew up, it blew up. When like Biggie was up there, and then who else was up there with Biggie at that time?
You got Mac Dre, you got Wu-Tang that was coming up at that time. You got Busta Rhymes who was about to pop.
You got all of those guys.
You know what I'm
those
saying?
guys that came up in the '90s, but you got the big
Jay-Z.
guys that before him,
Right.
like
Yeah.
Big Daddy Kane.
First of all,
those were the guys.
Nas.
So we forget about Nas as well, but Nas is still in that generation after that. So
Big
you,
Daddy Kane, Nas,
Sleek, Rick, the
Rakim.
Ruler.
You
Right.
got to.
So
That's
what's-
the original.
Right, so with that said, y'all, like, when they boom, they fucking boom, and then then they take their little break, and when they decide they want to come back up, shit, fuck it, here comes somebody.
Look, I
right
think
there.
it just have to do with more generational, man. Like,
It
I
is,
feel
bro.
like
But
it's
like,
a generational.
but they'll be quiet when they want to, though.
Yeah, but I don't feel like New York be quiet when it wants to because really New York has really just started back popping.
They the jungle for a reason, bro, but they can control.
But see, the thing is, like, to me, like, New York needs a top dog.
It is.
And
it
they
do.
don't have a top dog right now. So
But
if
since
you
it-
think about this, bro,
Well, you know-
like, look at it like this. I'm like on some real shit. If you look at when New York popped, they had top dogs.
They
Slick
did.
Rick was the top dog. Big Daddy Kane was the top dog. LL Cool J was the top dog. They mainstream. You can't if you're not mainstreamable in New York, you're not gonna make it really out of New York.
Right,
Yeah.
I get that. I'm just saying, though, because, like, since that's the origin of where hip-hop even came from, bro, like, them niggas control when they want to do shit. And when they do shit,
Respect
that
to New
shit.
York. Respect to New York. We respect
I mean, New York, I would give them respect, but a lot of their shit that's been going on, the reason why they're like that is it's really their own doing. To be honest, because before when we had New York in the 2000s, like after Biggie passed or whatnot, you had guys like Jay-Z. You had, granted, Jay-Z is like one of those exceptions. He's timeless forever. So there's just like with the exception of maybe like one album that I did not like, which I pretty much think that everybody agrees with. Kingdom Come was like one of his trashiest.
Can I say something real quick?
No, you cannot. No, not on Jay-Z because you are by. No, you can't. No.
Look at me. Jay-Z is overrated.
No. Don't listen to him.
Go ahead, so you saying. Jay-Z's overrated.
But
Jay-Z's overrated.
He is not overrated.
I don't agree.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody that came at Jay, he fired so many shots back. There are some shots that you probably don't even know about that he threw. Mm-hmm. Like you had. First you got to think about how many beefs Jay's been in. You got to think about Dame Dash for one. First and foremost, the inner workings of Rockefeller. Okay. You got the diplomats.
Hold on, guys. 1 second.
These guys over here.
Hey, bro. Real spill on Snapchat.
But you had Dame Dash.
There's not a Snapchat yet. We'll get to that. The Twitter.
Well, by the time they see this, it'll be real Snapchat.
Yeah, we get it.
What he said.
By the time you see this, it'll be real Snapchat.
In process.
Yeah. In due time, go ahead.
But we had Dame Dash, first and foremost, with the inner workings of Rockefeller. You had...
How he took the fucking company.
He didn't take... Wait, no, he didn't take... He did he?
Yeah, bro. Isn't he like the...
Jay took the company.
That's what I'm talking about, Jay-Z.
Yeah, oh yeah. He did it, but it was... You gotta see what was going on behind closed doors. You see how Dame Dash is now. Dame Dash don't got shit. He wasn't really doing shit. It was Jay. You had all these beefs that Jay was going through. He was bumping heads with DMX.
So what happened with the Dame Dash and Jay situation? Like I never really understood.
Well, I'm the young nigga.
If I could think about that shit, like basically it was a whole split. Like it was like one of those things. Like one guy was doing, basically just like the secret, underling, wanting to take over the company, wanted to show out, be that guy always in the videos, like how Suge Knight said, But just like how Nas said, what was that shit that he said in Ether? He said, Dame, he was like, what the fuck did he say?
I don't fuck with Nas like that, but I like Nas.
He said, Dame, he's like, you Biggie and he's Puffy, basically. So it's like the same little thing where Suge was talking about Puff being all in the videos with Big dancing and shit. That was the same thing. Nas was attacking that at that point. But you got to understand, there was a whole lot of stuff going on with New York in the 2000s. I don't think people understand the severity of how splintered New York was in the 2000s.
Bro, actually, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy that you say that because it's actually really visible because... There was so much beef. Yeah, you can see it now.
Not even that you can just see it. Everybody.
Yeah, with everybody, bro. But like, not that you can just see it now.
Yeah.
But like, you've seen it with so many different cases of how easily beef gets started in New York and how public that shit gets so fast.
Because New Yorkers are proud. New Yorkers are, especially New York hip hop artists. You got people like Cameron. Cameron was the one. He never really liked Jay in the beginning.
Right.
You had the whole thing with when when the Dame Dash Jay static kind of started. That's when people started to go both ways. Like you had Kanye on one side going with Jay, you had Diplomats going one side with Dame Dash, and then you had at the same time during that beef, as they're going at it, Nas and Cam are going at each other. You got Nas and 50 going at each other. I don't think people forget the fact that Nas actually signed with Murder Inc. during the 2000s. People forget that. That's another thing. Like it's so much going on with that. Like at one point, like in the early 90s, like all of the people that you saw beefing with each other were at one point together. Like you can look at perfect example. You can look at the Flavor in Your Ear video. Biggie all up in there. Irv Gotti was in there.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes was in there.
Yeah.
You hear about, you see Puffy was up in there, a whole lot of, all of that stuff. I think a lot of things started to splinter really after, and I want to choose my words carefully. I mean, I could be right, I could be wrong, but I don't know. But we all be a little stupid sometimes. But the whole thing with the Quad Studio shooting with Tupac, I think that kick-started a whole lot of things because after that, there was a whole East Coast West Coast war and all of that. That ultimately led up. And that ultimately led up to Tupac and Biggie's deaths. And so with all of that going on, there was a vacancy in New York basically at that time. There was the whole fame thing, who's the best rappers, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. And they, that whole thing was going on. And people was just starting to it was basically a whole battle royale. I mean,
because you still forgetting about DMX at that
that's
time.
What I said. That's what I said. New York,
DMX really emerged after Biggie died,
and people don't realize DMX and Jay, and this is a little known fact that I've dug up on. Jay-Z, DMX, Ja Rule. They were supposed to be a super group. Never came to fruition.
That shit sounds.
Never came to fruition.
Especially in young Ja Rule, bro. I feel like Ja Rule is probably one of the most underappreciated artists of all time.
Talk about Ja Rule.
Hey, man.
Where is Ja?
Ja is broke.
Where is Ja?
So is MC Hammer, but niggas still do the Hammer dance to this day.
No, I thought Ja Rule had a TV show for a minute.
Man, let's find something else to play.
Man, listen, bro. On some real shit.
What's some real spill?
On some real spill. Nigga comfortable. I'm back, y'all. I don't give a fuck.
Let me find something else to play.
Ja Rule, bro.
Matter of fact,
maybe in a thug. In love, okay. Like this nigga Ja Rule will literally be screaming out compliments.
We just gonna keep talking. We just gonna keep overlooking the fact of LL Cool J.
Bro, but LL Cool J wasn't really a thug to me, bro. Like LL Cool J wasn't a thug until Mama said knock you out. Wasn't nobody scared of LL Cool J. Like I'm not expecting LL Cool J to rob me, maybe steal my bitch.
Is that not under the same category?
Nigga, I'm not scared of no nigga who oils his chest like this.
He was still swole. He was still one of them niggas that look like he'll knock you out, though. That's why he came out.
That nigga rubbed his chest like a apple, bro.
Come on, man. And he was gonna shimmy his way to an ass whooping.
Bro, all I'm saying is LL Cool J is I'm not scared of you. But if Ja Rule rolled up on me and asked me for my car, he had the keys.
I wouldn't be afraid of Ja Rule.
Here you go, Ja. Don't rob me.
Little ass
not
man.
A modern, not this day, Ja Rule.
Yeah, not this day, Ja Rule.
Even so, that nigga talk like this.
Anybody who talk that is
I would have handed his ass a fucking lozenge.
That is scary.
I would have handed his ass a haul. Like, here, nigga, is your throat hurt? The fuck wrong with you?
Oh, you old ass nigga.
Come on, man. You know what
a lemon flavored cough drop.
That nigga said, huh, take that.
Take some peppermint tea while you at it.
That nigga hit the plug and take that.
What would I be without you? Still sick?
That nigga Ja Rule was the only nigga that had a motherfucking cold for his whole entire life. That nigga, he had what Eazy had thought he had. That nigga Eazy, that's why he was nervous.
The man tried to
he
be a
woke up one morning and sound like Ja Rule.
He tried to be a singing Tupac.
Bro.
Ja Rule, I don't honor you.
And it works.
I don't honor Ja Rule.
Bro, Ja Rule went hard, bro.
The only songs that I honor Ja Rule on is Holla Holla, motherfucking Can I Get Her, fucking, what's the song with Bobby Brown? I forget what the fuck that shit was, but even so, with that shit was bad wild because Bobby Brown was high as fuck throughout that whole goddamn recording.
Bobby Brown was, shout out to Bobby Brown.
He had a song.
If you gonna do cocaine, be proud about it.
I don't promote that shit.
Hey, I'm not doing it. We do not support the doing of cocaine, but if you're gonna do it, be proud of yourself.
Do it in moderation.
Yeah, don't kill yourself.
Yeah, please don't do it. Don't Mac Miller yourself. Although no disrespect, don't do that.
Okay.
But we got love for Mac Miller. I definitely have love for Mac Miller. Let's not say
my favorite damn song is Donald Trump still to
miss
this day.
him. I have confidence.
I heard
lucky ass bitch.
I heard Frick Park Market.
Lucky ass bitch.
Free Part Mark.
Yeah, I fuck with that one too. And that's pretty much it. That's nothing against him. I don't know.
The Macadelic reminds me of my senior year of high school, bro. Every time I listen to it, beautiful.
Fucking kids,
Weed,
Kool-Aid and frozen pizza.
state championships,
Man.
delicious concession food.
Shout out to them Frito Chili Pies y'all be making at the stadium.
Thank y'all so much. Because them chili cheese burgers was delicious. Delicious!
You had 6 hot dogs every time you went.
H nigga. So now let's talk about what rapper has really changed or influenced your life.
Bro, that's so easy. Wheezy. Oh, God. Wheezy, bro.
Talk on it.
Man, y'all gotta understand. I mean,
Yeah, I'm really interested, bro, because
I'm young though. I mean,
you 20.
I'm 20, right? But even then, I still remember hearing Wayne voice like on maybe like a 01 track, bro. 01, 02 track.
You talking about early Cash Money?
Bro, I'm talking about he was on Back That Ass Up. That's what I heard his ass on. I'm just like, how the hell do I still remember this though? And then the more
that song? Were you singing that
Hey,
song at your age?
on some real shit. I don't care what nobody say. You not really black. And when Back That Ass Up, you had that one ratchet ass auntie. Start throwing that ass at the family functions. You not a real nigga. If you didn't have a cousin or a ratchet ass auntie, throwing that ass back to back that ass up at some type of family event.
on my daddy's side, my mama's side think they too bougie and shit.
I can't relate to that.
Oh,
I
man,
can't relate.
he from the South.
I mean, we from the South, but I know about a couple friends that have done that.
No, bro, but like Weezy though, like that was my guy.
That's
bro.
close enough.
That was my guy.
That's
Like,
close enough. So what made you? What did he do that really influenced you though?
bro, just like even like growing up at a young age, music was my thing. Like, if somebody like as a little kid, like bro, if someone said the wrong lyric, bro, I'm just that ADD enough to correct your ass. Like, bro, you got it's this, not this type shit. Like, I was one of them niggas. So like his work, like his lyrics, his wordplay, even at like an early age, like I knew similes and metaphors better than some motherfuckers that are like 3 years older than me and shit like that.
Okay.
So like hearing that type of thing, I'm just like, dang. Oh, I get it type shit. He said this to make it sound like
The way he connect things together, piece together.
bro, yeah, he done that shit good though.
And that's one thing I will say about Wayne, bro. Wayne will take like the puzzle pieces, bro, and scatter them all through his songs, but at the end of the song, you feel like all them pieces come together and show like a beautiful picture.
Bro, yes.
Okay, so now that we talking about Wayne, what is the best quarter?
Best card, bro.
It's like a month after Carter 5 done came out.
Bro, Carter 4. Carter 4 on everything.
It shows your youth.
Carter 4. I'm
It
just
shows
saying.
your youth.
I'm
Said
just saying.
Carter 3.
I'm going Carter 3, and that shows our age too. Because if like Shannon was maybe 2 years older, because he's 26, I'm 24, and Lawrence right here is 20.
Hey,
But if he was like 2 or 4 years older, Shannon would have probably said the Carter 2.
Well,
more or less.
maybe. I wasn't really too big of a fan of Carter 2. At that point, I was really getting into his mixtapes. Because his mixtapes is what drew me in.
Bro,
I will say the same thing. I remember when Wayne said, "I'm not the shooter. I'm the bullet, bitch." And I was like in the 5th grade. Real spill. Like real spill, bro, for real. I was in the 5th grade. And I heard that I was in my cousin's car. We was riding through the motherfucking country. And that nigga was speeding like young teenage niggas do. And they be stunning, had the radio all the way up. And that nigga said, "I ain't the shooter. I'm the bullet, bitch." And my cousin's head was out the window. When he said it with Wayne. So I'm in the passenger seat like, oh, this shit is live.
right.
Oh, man. I mean, I would just say that,
Who fucked with his mixtapes?
I don't know.
Like, no ceilings.
No Ceilings was cool.
Sorry for the wait.
It was so many more mixtapes, but I think the one that really in my area,
I think I know
the
which
one that really popped was when he teamed up with Jewels.
Oh,
When he teamed up with Jewels, when they made that down south New York connection.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the thing, and that in itself was also a whole thing, the precursor to throwing shots at each other. Jay and Lil Wayne.
Yep.
People forget that they threw shots at each other, and the whole thing with the battle over Drake. A whole lot of stuff happens. See, a whole lot of things happen in between the lines of hip hop music. Hip hop music is just not hip hop music.
it's a culture.
It's a culture. It's a
lifestyle.
business. It's a sport. It's a competition. A lot of things are underlined. Like there are a lot of underlying storylines that lead up to these, albums. It's so much stuff that we don't know about that the artists know about, and only other artists that hear the albums themselves know about what's going on. And that's one of those things that I've learned in hip hop in itself. That it just draws you in so much more because it's literally a story and it's literally life.
Yeah.
It's literally life out there, and it's just like some of the stuff you can get caught. Some of this bullshit you can get caught up in it, and it's just like some of it's just like entertainment. But other than that, outside of that, there's still some element of realness in hip hop.
Spill.
Like that's real spill right there.
Real still, like on some shit to the point, like if you go back and look like at hip hop history, different events that led up to those albums will always be etched in history.
Yeah.
Like for instance, if you're from Houston, everybody knows that Project Pat only released one album. One album. And everybody knows. Talk to him. Ghetto Dream. Diamond Ring. Anyway, but he died 2 weeks before his album released.
I think it was
Fat Pat?
Yeah, Fat Pat.
Hey, he was a true artist, bro.
I think
Just
you
like
said in the beginning Project Pat.
If I said Project Pat, I'm sorry, I'm a little high.
Yeah, that's what I was
Fat Pat.
I was like,
Hey.
Project Pat's dead? When did this happen?
But I'm saying, like, I'm saying stuff like that, or just looking at all the things that X said on Instagram before that song really drops. Excuse me. That stuff like that's going to be etched in hip hop history.
Exactly.
Forever, people will come back and talk about, well, man, it's crazy how he just said this.
it's crazy as fuck.
And then it happened. Or like, for instance, the Carter 5. How all these legal issues came, and now you can kind of see the development of the Carter 5. You can see where stuff was added. You can feel like some places feel like something happened there, like so they changed it. And you can feel that in the album because...
Feel the years.
And you can feel the years of the time passing, and then like, the different sounds that's on the album itself. It's so dope to, like, because you really listen to history, like, that was something that happened in our lifetime that we'll never forget, that we'll probably end up talking about and our kids will hear about, and they'll know about.
It's crazy that you said that, though, because him and Weezy and Drake had dropped a single way before the album, or Carter 5 had even dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, bro, like, both of them was both throwing shots over there at Baby, just, for y'all that don't know, by now y'all should, Baby is Birdman.
Indeed.
Fucking dummy.
Asshole.
Bird Williams.
And then, so, like, yeah, it was just like, both of them was just throwing shots at, like, the beef that they had with that nigga, bro. And I was just like, damn. And then Weezy just, like, and, like, you think at this point, now back to Weezy shit, like I said, like, with his lyrics, his wordplay and all that shit, you think at this point, like, at the point he's making this song, you thinking he's lost some of it, bro. No, this nigga is still, like...
He didn't lose anything.
This is the one rapper, I swear to you, I don't give a fuck what any of y'all say in the comments or anything else. Weezy is the only nigga that hasn't lost any of his shit from beginning to right now. Fuck everything I have to say about that shit.
I don't know, man.
It's a little too early to talk about. It's a little too early. I would say it's a little too early.
He's still a great storyteller, bro. He still got the best punchlines out there.
I'm not a big fan of Jay-Z, and I never will be, so I really don't give a fuck what y'all think about that. But Jay-Z to me has the greatest longevity of any career. He stayed relevant regardless if the music was hot or not. Regardless how you feel about the music,
Yeah.
You can't argue with that.
And the fact that he said that the reasonable that he just put out an album, he just said if it didn't sell, he wasn't gonna do it. The fact that he said he was like, I would just do. He said it himself. Like when he put it out, he was like, I really wasn't planning on doing music for that long. I was just gonna put out one album and I was gonna go right back to hustling. And when he saw that the album did good, that it did well, he was like, okay, fuck it, that's what I'm gonna do. And he just did it. Yeah. And that's just one of those things. It was like not a lot of people could just pick that shit up like that and make quality, like good quality music. Like anybody can pick up a microphone or anybody can go in a recording booth and put out some bullshit.
Right.
No, this man's bullshit was gold.
His bullshit was gold.
Niggas, it's 2018, almost 2019. I'm still listening to Wash Your Throne. Still listening.
Hey guys, check this out real quick. Gotta go to the bathroom real quick. We're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna wrap up this podcast. Real Spill, this is the first episode, man. So, you know what I'm saying? This is legendary. You guys are bestowing upon your eyes some greatness right now. So,
hey, we 40 minutes deeper. We going strong.
Real Spill. So, anyway, before we left, talking about the rapper who was most influential in our lives. Lauren said Weezy, F Baby, Lil Wayne. Can't go wrong with that. What about you, Shay? What you think, man? Who's your most influential artist, man?
Man, there's so many artists. But if I can really narrow it down, I mean, I know it's gonna be. I mean, I don't want to say that it's gonna be real generic, but I mean, Tupac. Plain and simple. Tupac.
Wow.
And that was one of the first artists that I was introduced to. My family is very Afrocentric, so we learned about, going through our history and stuff of that nature, so learning what we've been through as a people and hearing somebody like Tupac at the age of, I don't know, how old was I? I was about 7 or 8, something like that. Okay. First listening to him. But the thing that really got me into him was the way that he died. I think that's what it was.
Like, what do you mean by that?
When then you have that myth, that the methodicalism. I don't even know if that's a fucking word, but
methodicalism.
That's if it ain't a new word, it's a new word now. Goddammit. Hey, I came up with it.
You heard it first. Real Spill.
Definition below.
Methodicalism. If that's a real word, please let us know down below in the comments because I'm curious at this point.
Right. Please do that. But yeah, the way that he died, I think it was something of interest to me because he was so young. It was like 25 years old, learning learning the circumstances around his death and digging from there like in his history, because that was the first thing I got introduced to was how he died. And I think in some way there were some similarities between me and him, growing up. I saw myself in Tupac, and I saw the things that he spoke around, about the community that we lived in and everything. I started to, growing up, starting to see that as, your own reality, and it's like, okay, he's talking the same shit that I'm going through. So it's
almost like he's talking to you.
Yeah, it's like he's talking to me. I almost considered him a goddamn family member at one point.
And I feel that, bro, when an artist really comes into your life and you listen to their music, and it's almost like their music is speaking to you, like they made that certain song for your ears. Yeah. And I feel like that's beautiful, man. When you find that in music, that's one of the most beautiful things about music. It's like it can touch so many different people in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, I'm just going to throw this out here. I know this is kind of random. Yeah, I just going to have to excuse me because this is some real spill. The YG song, My Nigga. Yeah. Anytime I hear that hoe, I get sad. It might remind some people of their homeboys, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But for me, it reminds me of my homeboy funeral. Rest in peace to Chris Price, you know what I'm saying? R.I.P. CP3, you know what I'm saying? Rest in paradise, my brother. Love you, man. You know what I'm saying? And as for certain songs, like I remember I was watching some YouTube, and this dude was saying like a whole album reminded him of his parents' divorce. You know what I'm saying? So like, but music can touch you in so many different ways, man. And I feel like that's beautiful, the experience that you got to have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Listening to Pac. And I feel like Pac has touched me in that way. Shorty Want to Be a Thug described me when I was like 8th through 10th grade. I was really out here trying to be something. I'm not going to say that I'm not, but that I had no business trying to be.
Yeah.
I had no business being. You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with that, bro. For me, I had to go a little different, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm Texas to the motherfucking bone. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn me. I couldn't be more East Texas. My name was Earl Campbell. You know what I'm saying? Real East Texas niggas know
Texas
exactly
legends.
what I'm talking about. They don't need, hey, the Tyler Rose, baby. I couldn't be more East Texas. My name was Adrian Pitts. I'm telling you, man. I couldn't be more East Texas and my name was Stephen F. motherfucking Austin. Listen here. Peep game. Just listen up real quick. I'm going to land this motherfucker.
Tell him.
Let me talk my shit. Goddamn me. Let me talk my shit. But no, on some real shit, man. Zero. Zero is my most influential artist. And I feel like a lot of it's because at the time when I was really exposed to Zero, I was going through a lot of pain. A lot of pain. And I felt like, you know what I'm saying? Zero, I felt like he was talking to me. Like, my favorite song by Zero was Thug. Like anytime, like to me, I got certain songs that's on my gospel rap playlist. Like when you listen to these songs, like they just not regular hip hop songs. They're not just regular rap songs. It's like a gospel song. Like it takes you to a different place. For instance, March Madness. Not a regular rap song. Not a trap song. Gospel rap song.
Hey.
Gospel rap song.
Gospel rap song.
But You Here on the God is a gospel rap song. That's my first gospel rap song I ever heard. And I fuck with it so strong, man. What Zero did with the beat was he took the beat from So Amazing Luther Vandross. And man, he just said some real thing. He came on it so strong. He said, like the first thing he said was 24/7, I'm in trouble for nothing. Tell the laws on the topic of the day of discussion. Blood pumping and rushing. I gotta struggle to survive. I be making what I can do with a 9 to 5. As long as it be legal, I be willing to try. If I had a pair of wings, I'd be willing to fly. You know what I'm saying? And then like, for me, bro, like growing up in adolescence, it seemed like I was always in some shit. I was always not doing exactly what I needed to do and not living up to what I need to do. And it just felt like, you know what I'm saying, so much pressure on me. And Zero was letting me know at the time, like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Sometimes you gotta thug this shit out. But really, when you thugging this shit out, it's beautiful. Because at all times, you're a true hero under God.
Hey.
It's real spill.
Hey.
Real spill.
Sad times back.
Real spill.
Sad times back, so